So let's make it a bit interesting. And firstly, I'm going to take a quick poll. I'll be doing 3 polls through my session. A show of hands for people who have used Bangalore traffic as a conversation starter in any setup, social or professional. Show of hands. All right. Next question. How many of you have given up that this cannot be solved? It's a failed affair. Nothing can be done. Show of hands. Wow, very optimistic group. I don't need to present anything then. Yeah? All right. Friends, it's an honor and privilege to be here, not talking about my official capacity which spreads across more than 3 decades in the industry, setting, growing, maturing global organizations out of India. Very proud to be Indian, but there are things which need to be solved, and I have always looked at them as opportunities. My presentation today is going to be very, very different, non-corporate, in the social space, addressing directly the show of hands we had in the afternoon here. For those who have not raised their hands, I know in their gut, they know this is a problem which cannot be solved. And I'm going to do a 3rd poll by the time I finish my session. With that, let's roll the first video.
Know that a whopping 95% of respondents in our recent study. Namaskara Bengaluru. Did you know that a whopping 95% of respondents in our recent study said they are keen to shift to public transport? Did you also know that Bengaluru has a significantly increased capacity and reach of its mass public transport this year? Lakhs of commuters to and from Whitefield and soon Electronic City will have access to the metro for the very first time. This is in addition to 6,000 BMTC buses that already connect commuters to every nook and corner of Bengaluru, serving 40 lakh people every day. A well-integrated bus and metro system means that spending 4 hours every day in noisy traffic can be a distant dream, only if you make the switch. To make public transport work for everyone, we need to make it reliable and comfortable. A seamless integration between metro, bus, auto, footpaths, and cycle all become crucial. This is where P2P comes in. Personal to Public is a strategic campaign to inspire and help daily commuters that currently use personal vehicles to switch to public transport at least twice a week. This initiative is supported by WRI India and BPAC. Civic society groups like Bengaluru Apartments Federation, Whitefield Rising, Change Makers of Kanakpura Road, Slum Dweller Federation, etc., and corporates like Orca, which is the Outer Ring Road Companies Association, along with Sustainable Ecosystem Collaboration and ELCITA, in collaboration with government agencies like BMTC, BMRCL, BTP, BBMP, and DULT, with the help of auto unions, can create a conducive environment for commuters to make the switch. We hope to build a coalition of citizens that is diverse and inclusive. Our mission, you ask, is to work on improving Bangalore's first mile and last mile connectivity by identifying gaps and making visible changes in how people access public transportation. Changes can be brought through data-driven policy making, which help establish a strong baseline by understanding patterns, potential wins, and identifying critical stations. Here's what we've accomplished so far. We have studied feeder bus systems, worked with government agencies, and partnered with corporates interested in sustainability. We have also involved citizen group collectives and Bengaluru commuters to help us come up with action plans for everyone involved in this coalition to finally launch this campaign. We also organized a Walk the Talk event on the 11th of October, where CXOs and officials all took the feeder buses along with Honorable Transport Minister and Vice Chairman of SITK to send a message that public transport is for everyone. But we have a long way to go. And here's what P2P hopes to accomplish, and we need your help. Show your support for a better Bengaluru and take the pledge with us. And of course, use public transport. we hope to ensure all sections of society can easily access transit spaces through a seamless integration of all public transport through the first and last mile connectivity. All of us at P2B believe in building a sustainable Bengaluru. We must come together to work with the government agencies and help make the city better. We will keep you informed every 2 weeks with the latest updates and invite you to join us. Join P2P. Swanta Vahagalinda Sarvajanike Sarike Balisi. Make commuting easy. This is Sama summing up all your updates, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.
So friends, we have Sama in the room today, and you can always interact her. Please get up, stand up, thank you. So she's the one behind. So I was exactly in the people who showed hands that nothing can be done 6 months back. Spending 34 years in corporate environment, it's nice to talk over this over a cup of coffee or anything more colored, criticizing things which are not working with a point of no return. I'm going to talk about the platform which made this happen. It's called the Sustainability Ecosystem Collaboration, and the video you saw is the work of 7 government organizations, corporates, NGOs, research organizations like WRI, activist groups like BPAC and Slum Dwellers Association of Bangalore, coming together for the first time in history. And the plan is innovate locally and extend and scale globally. The solutions which are being deployed, we expect and hopefully wish they can be scaled to any other town and city in India where we have a mobility challenge, and then onwards beyond India. So let me take you through what we covered is what has been done, instead of the typical presentations where you talk about how, why. I didn't have to explain the why, you all showed the hands, so that is the why. What has been done, you have a fair idea. In the last 6 months alone is what has been achieved. All right. So the 3 components of the environment, the platform which I'm talking about, the Sustainability Ecosystem Connect, focuses on 3 things. Leveraging technology to scale, because most of the developed, and all my friends outside India here in the room, this is an interesting dimension. Most of the solutions of the West may not work in the East. Too expensive, cannot be scaled, and we had an enormous oversight in the G20 and thereafter today on the Brecon Protocol, the UPI, the ONDC, the e-commerce, the health stack coming up. It's unbelievable. You need to be in India to innovate and scale, exactly the platform which we are talking about right now. The second is policy advocacy. You cannot cut paste policies, legacy archaic rules, and say they will work in the 21st century. We talked about mobility from Prashant in the earlier session and the whole morning today. Guess what? If you talk to Prashant at coffee, and he's here around, ask him when was the last time the traffic policies were changed in India. And this is the same state across the world. It's not just that we are in India, we can bitch about India. It's across the world, we have the same policy stagnation. So the second pillar around is how can we influence, work with the right subject matter experts to make a change at a policy level, which is working with the government. And fantastic work. If I tell you in 6 months, 7 national mobility policies have been influenced for the better and for the future, I know there will be a lot of skepticism in the room. Is it really possible, or I'm just gassing? It has been done. Infosys leads that effort. Infosys is part of the partner on this platform. And the third is employee philanthropy. Very underrated, understated, but with the biggest tech force in the world in India, 40% of it in Bangalore alone, can they be leveraged for philanthropy work at scale beyond the boundaries of individual organizations? So this was the platform. This is the structure for a way to scale collaboration, because I know it's easy to talk, very difficult to execute. We touched upon it today whole morning. So the way this platform has been created, it's like an open source to collaborate. It allows 80 plus companies, global companies having centers in India, to come together to innovate across the 3 areas I talked about. And the results have been phenomenal. There is no one-man owner for this platform. It is co-sponsored by VMware, a company I proudly represent today, and Intel, my brother in crime. Companies joined hands to actually seed fund this initiative initially. Members have nothing to pay. Startup, NGOs, trade bodies, not a penny as part of the membership and commitment. The commitment is the passion, the subject matter expertise, and a goal and impact which is time-bound, measurable. We actually follow corporate rules and policies. It's strange. We have goal sheets, we have KPIs, we have minutes of meeting, we have a conveyor, and we have a liaison officer with the government, as good as any corporate, but it's a public platform. Why P2P? I think the instant connection when the P2P team of WRI and BPAC came over to me to discuss the ambitions they have on improving the first and last mile mobility challenges in Bangalore, it was a natural connect to sustainable mobility. And I think we joined hands in exactly 10 minutes of conversation. The platform existed much earlier. The platform is over a year old now. And it talks about everything on climate change, but today my topic is on sustainable mobility. Within a span of 3 months, we could get every body of repute and influence onto the platform. And phenomenal work done by my friends at WRI and BPAC. And idea was, with the changing urban landscape, this is an evolution of the Bangalore Metro, one of the most ambitious and the costliest infrastructure project ever in India. Forget bullet train for a minute, it's still not done. But the Bangalore Metro, if you have seen the history, by 2023, end of this calendar year, and onwards to the next year, we will have the highest coverage in kilometers of any urban metro in India. And that brings the next challenge. The left is what my friends here in the room and beyond are witnessing day in and day out. We did a survey beginning of this campaign. It takes about 2.5 hours to do office commute. And guess what? Are these employees going to be productive? Is a big question. But the challenge is on the left. Look at the growth in the number of vehicles on road. And Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Karnataka still sells the highest four-wheelers and two-wheelers in the country. And automotive companies are not complaining. Nobody has a right to complain because it's sales, it's business, it's top-line growth. But at what cost? The problem we are trying to solve is the first and the last mile mobility issue. Because if we can crack that, the survey results also says that 50+% of people are ready to move on to public transport at least 2 days a week. And today, we talk about diversity in our corporate lives, in our national and international roles. The utilization of public transport for women is less than 25%. You know why? Dark streets, unpaved pedestrian walking, unsafe public travel, many reasons. So this is what we are trying to solve. Can we use technology? Can we use app which is with every mobility traveler which can give you real-time information and alert to close group of friends? Can we get metered vehicles with no surcharge, no commissions on mobility platforms to make it economical for underprivileged to use public transport? And we have done some remarkable work. For the first time in history, the Rickshaw Union Association, and for our friends in international friends, there is a group which is managed for auto rickshaws, those three-wheelers, tuk-tuks, you see, they are governed by a union of their own. In history of India, first time they are ready to adopt technology, and the first ever mobility app outside of the global mobility apps which we are aware of, an app has been developed on the ONDC platform with zero surcharge, zero commission in 3 months. And what it will tell you, women and senior citizens getting out of a metro, from the metro you can book a rickshaw which will take a fixed fare to take you home or to office depending on which time of the day you are traveling. It has already been launched in 7 metro stations in Bangalore, and by the end of, I would say next 3 to 4 months, it will be deployed across Bangalore and then onwards to other cities in India. So friends, this is where we are. As I said, just 6 months back, we dreamt, had a vision. Instead of complaining, we came on the other side, got the right people onto the room, started a structured process of solving this problem, and we completed the survey, we did the action planning, we took all the government agencies, senior ranks into the fold, convinced them that join hands, it's good for you, it's good for us, we drive this, you just support us. Think about this, right? Somebody coming to them saying, we are going to solve your problem. And that started the change management. We are at a point where 1,500 new buses, which has never happened, have got introduced in the last 3 months. 3,000 more EV for all the EV fans here. All the presentations in the morning. 3,000 new EV buses have been ordered, purchase orders signed, and these are all discretionary special funding with the state and the center joining hands. And the next part is more better signages, environmentally friendly pedestrian walking, more better lighting across all the key corridors of Bangalore, and it has created enough buzz that every social media, every leading newspaper across the country has featured P2P at every length and breadth, because if this is going to work, it will be a game changer. And for the first time, from complaining to giving up, saying nothing is possible, to a solution which is deployed on ground, scalable, run by citizens, and it's just the amalgamation of technology, right environment, and right stakeholders. I am convinced, standing before you, to even talk about this in a public forum, because we have seen the results already. Yes, it needs to scale, it needs to be done across India, and we need to cover the entire Bangalore metro in the next 7 months. Please do connect to join the platform. It's open to anybody, even an individual who is ready to contribute. Just write to this email IDs, and you can meet up with me or Sama later during the day, and more than happy to connect. But I'll do my last poll. Seeing this effort, how many of you are inspired that you will try out public transport and take the pledge for at least 2 days a week where you won't touch your vehicle? Show of hands. That's it? I want more. Pardon? Promote, each one of you, my call to action for today afternoon and investment to Joe's, or he won't be satisfied. Motivate 10 more people at home or at work to take on public transport, at least to try out. That's my humble request. Thank you very much.